Hello again, and welcome. I'm so glad you found your way back here, to this quiet corner of the night. Tonight, we're going to explore something so familiar, and yet so profoundly strange, that it might just shift the way you see the world. We're going to trace the history of zero, the simple idea of nothing, and how that idea quietly built everything. As you lie here in the dark, a space not unlike the very concept we'll explore, let your mind settle into the vastness. So shift your weight just a little. Let your pillow find the perfect cool spot. Feel the day's thoughts begin to dissolve, leaving a gentle, open space behind your eyes. Breathe in slowly, and as you breathe out, let go of any remaining tension. Good. Now, let's begin. Tonight, I'll share with you the quiet journey of zero. Each fact will be a soft step through time, a single, fascinating idea to hold in your mind for a moment before letting it drift away. It's perfectly okay if sleep finds you somewhere along the path. If our time together helps ease your mind into rest, consider subscribing, and I'll be right here whenever you need a voice in the dark. Now, let's step softly into the story of nothing. Picture ancient Sumeria and Babylon, thousands of years ago. Imagine a scribe pressing symbols into a soft clay tablet under the heat of a flickering oil lamp. The concept of zero began there, not as a grand philosophical idea, but as a quiet, practical pause. By adding a small wedge or just an empty space between cuneiform marks, these early mathematicians could finally distinguish a single unit of 10 from the larger magnitude of 100. It was a silent sentinel, an unspoken understanding that this column held no value, allowing their minds to drift through calculations of land and the movements of the stars. This simple, empty gap was the first whisper of nothing, a breath held in the middle of a sentence. The story then flows east to ancient India, where a brilliant philosopher named Brahmagupta did something truly radical. Imagine him sitting in a stone courtyard, surrounded by the scent of incense, as he wrote a manuscript that would forever change mathematics. In the Bakshali manuscript, he looked at that simple placeholder and saw a number, a real and dignified entity. With the patience of a gentle teacher, he wrote down the first rules for interacting with this new presence, explaining what happens when you add or subtract nothing from something. He treated zero as a complete idea in its own right, transforming a mere gap into a point of beautiful, self-contained emptiness. And far away, in a world the others could not yet imagine, the same silent insight bloomed. Picture the floating forests of Central America, where the Mayan civilization peered up through a canopy of leaves at the endless rhythmic dance of the stars. In their own quest to understand time, they independently discovered zero. They carved it as a delicate, shell-like glyph, a symbol that looked like a closed eyelid or a tiny, sleeping seed. This symbol of the void was the key to a calendar of breathtaking precision, allowing them to track cosmic cycles stretching back millennia, all held together by that one quiet mark representing the perfect pause between one era and the next. And where does the word itself come from? Its very sound is a peaceful journey. The word zero flows from the Italian zeffiro, which itself whispers back to the Arabic sif, meaning empty. But the true heart of it lies in the original Sanskrit word, shunya. This beautiful word translates to void or empty, but not an emptiness of lack. It evokes a meditative state of pure openness, the quiet, fertile space between two thoughts in your own mind. In that single word is the gentle understanding that from nothing, a world of potential can emerge, just as the calm of this moment holds the seeds of tomorrow. Finally, imagine a warm bridge of intellect connecting the ancient world to the modern one. In the medieval Islamic world, a scholar named Al-Khwarizmi worked within the vibrant libraries of Baghdad, the city of peace. He carefully studied the Indian texts and understood the profound power of that little circle. He then wove this knowledge into the fabric of the West, his work on algebra creating a fluid new language where symbols could dance and move in perfect balance. He gave us a system where the simple, silent zero could finally take its place at the heart of calculation, a quiet pivot around which all of science and engineering could turn. For centuries, the notion of zero drifted through European thought like a ghostly visitor, met with hesitation and unease. Many thinkers viewed this concept of pure nothingness as a confusing mystery, a void that defied easy understanding. It took the slow, patient dance of trade and the exchange of ideas across the shimmering Mediterranean for zero to find its footing. With quiet persistence, it sailed on merchant ships and nestled into the ledgers of traders, gradually becoming a staple of Western bookkeeping. This simple circle, once an enigma, now holds the quiet power to anchor our numbers, a gentle reminder that even emptiness can have a place in the order of things. The arrival of zero quietly revolutionized our perception of space, gifting us the coordinate plane. By setting a placid origin point at 0, 0, mathematicians crafted a quiet grid where every point could find a home, a soft address in the expanse. From this gentle center, we can map the graceful curves of celestial orbits, the sweeping paths of planets in their silent dance. It also sketches the soft arcs of architecture, the delicate rise of a cathedral's arch or the subtle bend of a bridge. This canvas, born from nothingness, allows us to visualize the world with a serene clarity, connecting the heavens to our humble structures through a delicate, mathematical order. Zero forms the quiet heartbeat of the binary system, a realm of only two digits, 0 and 1. This simple pairing breathes life into modern computers, orchestrating a rhythmic dance like a soft, steady pulse beneath our digital world. Every image that flickers on a screen, every sound that whispers in our ears is a symphony of these two states, alternating with a calming regularity. The 0 and 1 work together, a duet of presence and absence, to weave the rich tapestry of data we navigate daily. In this digital silence and signal, 0 is the pause that allows the melody of information to flow, a fundamental stillness in the vast landscape of our technology. In the gentle realm of calculus, the concept of the limit allows us to approach 0 without ever quite touching its essence. This creates a profound sense of endlessness, as if we are drifting closer and closer to a horizon that softly recedes with each step. It is a quiet pursuit, a mathematical echo of our own yearning to understand the infinitesimal, the space between moments. We can imagine a number shrinking, becoming ever more delicate, yet never fully vanishing, always holding a whisper of existence. This journey towards 0 is not about arrival, but about the serene, unending approach, a calm meditation on the nature of the infinitely small, a threshold we can only ever near but never cross. In the natural world, 0 is often felt as a point of perfect balance, a moment of poised stillness. Consider the freezing point of water on the Celsius scale, that quiet 0 degrees where a profound transformation begins. It is here that liquid, with all its flowing vitality, surrenders to a crystalline slumber, forming delicate ice structures that shimmer in the pale winter light. This threshold is not a void, but a pause, a breath held by nature where change occurs without drama, only a soft settling into a new state. The 0 becomes a gentle fulcrum, a harmonious point where the world subtly shifts, inviting us to witness the quiet magic of equilibrium in the simplest of elements, a serene dance of temperature and time. Close your eyes and imagine a time when numbers were only counts of sheep or measures of grain, when the profound emptiness of 0 was yet to be understood. In the warm plains of ancient India, scholars like Brahmagupta sat in quiet contemplation, their minds reaching into the void. They transformed 0 from a simple placeholder into a full mathematical being, with rules for addition and subtraction that feel like a gentle breath upon the fabric of logic. Picture the scratch of a stylus on palm leaf, the scent of jasmine in the air, as he wrote his treatise, the Brahmasfuta Siddhanta, defining how 0 behaves, always returning to that serene emptiness. This wasn't just a calculation, it was a peaceful revolution, a quiet foundation laid for all of modern algebra to rest upon, like a temple built from the concept of nothingness. And across the vast oceans, in the jungles of Mesoamerica, the Mayan civilization found their own vision of 0, entirely separate, yet equally profound. Picture their astronomers climbing the steep steps of silent pyramids, their eyes tracing the drifting cycles of time across a velvet sky. They captured 0 as a soft, stylized shell, its curves echoing the conch shells washed up on their shores, a symbol not of emptiness but of potential. Run your thumb over its imagined surface smooth like the sea's whisper, as they inscribed it into their bark paper codices. With this serene image, They mapped the stars and planets with a quiet precision, their calendars weaving together the cosmos in a dance that still whispers to us today. Yet long before these societies, on the dusty plains of ancient Babylon, mathematicians were already pressing symbols into soft clay. Look down at the tablet in their hands and see the simple double wedge they used, a silent pause in their number system. It wasn't yet a zero you could calculate with, but it served as a breath, a whisper between digits, allowing them to distinguish the vast difference between 10 and 100 or 1 and 60. Imagine holding that tablet, feeling the baked clay cool against your skin, the indentation of that wedge a gentle guardian of order. It was a placeholder of pure potential, a marker of empty space that held the numbers together with delicate grace, a quiet comma in the language of mathematics. Centuries later, in the golden age of Islamic scholarship, the concept of zero began its journey westward. Visualize the bustling house of wisdom in Baghdad, where the mathematician Al-Khwarizmi dipped his pen into ink the color of midnight. Through his influential writings, he carried the seed of zero from India, nurturing it into a system that could gently bridge cultures. His words introduced the decimal system to a world encumbered by the rigid, clunky constraints of Roman numerals, like a clear stream flowing effortlessly over ancient stones. This zero sailed across deserts and seas, carried by traders and scholars, until it took root in the fertile minds of European thinkers, a gentle bridge built from the wisdom of many lands. And from this quiet concept, a new realm unfolded: the coordinate plane. Imagine a floating expanse of space, an endless grid where all points are possible, anchored by a single, steady origin marked simply as 0, 0. This serene center allows us to map any location, from the trembling path of a fallen leaf to the distant orbit of a celestial body. The grid stretches out before you like a silent cartography of possibility, with every point measured from that tranquil origin. It is a reminder that even in the infinite, there is a gentle heart of calm, a silent origin to which all measurements can return, a quiet home for our understanding of space and motion. In the world of mathematics, calculus unfolds like a quiet river, studying the art of continuous change. It relies on a concept called limits, where values drift ever closer to zero, never quite touching but always approaching. This elegant idea allows scientists to describe the smooth, flowing curves of a winding river, or the slow, silent orbit of a moon around a distant planet. Imagine a leaf floating downstream, its path a gentle, unbroken curve, all made understandable through this drift towards nothingness. It is a dance of approximation, where the infinitely small becomes the key to understanding the vast and continuous. Now consider the quiet heartbeat of every digital device, a rhythmic dance between two simple states, 1 and 0. Binary code is this alternating pulse of presence and absence, a digital whisper that translates complex thoughts into streams of electronic silence. Picture a vast library of knowledge, all reduced to a flicker of on and off, a lantern flashing in the dark. Each 0 is a pause, a moment of rest, while the 1 is a gentle assertion, together weaving the fabric of our connected world. It is through this simplest of languages that computers breathe life into our commands, a serene ballet of nothing and something. Deep within ancient Indian philosophy, the concept of zero finds a spiritual echo in shunyata, or emptiness. This is not a cold, dark void, but a state of boundless potential, a quiet stillness from which all forms can emerge. Imagine a clear night sky, empty of clouds yet holding the promise of countless stars. From this philosophical perspective, zero is the seed of infinite possibility, a silent womb where numbers and ideas take shape. It suggests that in the profound calm of nothingness, all of existence is waiting to be born, a gentle reminder that stillness and creation are deeply intertwined. The journey from Roman numerals to the Hindu-Arabic system was a slow, drifting tide, taking centuries to wash across Europe. Merchants, once burdened by the clunky mechanics of stone abacuses, gradually realized the fluid grace of calculating with a zero. Imagine a busy medieval marketplace, where a simple stroke of ink replaced the heavy clatter of beads, making trade as effortless as a soft breeze. This quiet revolution in numbers streamlined commerce and science, allowing thoughts to flow more freely onto parchment. It was a transition from the rigid to the rhythmic, where zero opened a door to more elegant, effortless computation.
When you gaze at the number 0 in a modern font, it often appears as a perfect, seamless circle, a symbol of wholeness and completion. This shape mirrors the quiet cycle of a deep breath, or the soft curve of a distant horizon where the sky meets the sea. There is a sense of peace in its continuous form, a loop without beginning or end, holding the promise of rest and renewal. It is a visual whisper of infinity, encapsulating the very essence of balance and calm in a single elegant stroke. In its smooth roundness, 0 invites us to reflect on the cycles of life and the serene beauty of a closed, unbroken line. Still floating on the gentle stream of 0's tail? Good, because its silent influence touches everything. A like, if you will, helps other night owls find their way here too.
In the ancient land of Babylon, the first gentle idea of 0 began to bloom like a quiet flower in the desert. Scribes used a small double wedge, a soft mark pressed into cool clay, to hold an empty place in their number system. Imagine them carefully carving this symbol to separate 10 from 100, creating a calm order that made counting clear and simple. This simple act was like a seed, slowly drifting through the sands of time toward the modern way we organize value and meaning. It was a peaceful beginning, a whisper of nothingness that allowed numbers to expand and breathe, shaping the silence between sounds. In the ancient Maya world, a shell-like symbol represented 0, a gentle curve of emptiness like a closed spiral resting in the mind. This mark was woven into their long count calendar, tracing the great cycles of time with a soft and steady hand. They used it to track vast ages, thousands of years, with a quiet precision that feels almost like a dream of endless flow. It reflected their deep understanding that time is a flowing circle, always returning, always beginning again in an eternal dance. This discovery was their own, a truth found in the stillness of the cosmos, a peaceful nod to the void. In 7th century India, the wise mathematician Brahmagupta wrote down the first formal rules for 0 as a number, a calm revelation. He saw it as a balanced point of stillness, a silent center in the great equation of existence, untouched by motion. He gently explained how adding 0 to a number lets it rest, unchanged, and subtracting 0 leaves it perfectly the same, like a mirror reflecting itself. This profound insight became the foundation for all the algebra that would follow, a quiet cornerstone of mathematical thinking. It was a moment of clarity, a truth that still holds the world of numbers together in peaceful harmony. The word 0 drifted to us from the Arabic language, from the soft and flowing word sif, meaning empty, a vessel of nothing. It traveled through Latin, transforming into zephyrum, a sound that feels like a gentle breeze passing through ancient leaves. From there, it slowly became the English word 0, carrying the essence of a quiet void in its breath. Imagine this word floating across centuries, a whisper of nothingness that shaped our thoughts about the world and its hidden order. It reminds us that emptiness can be full of meaning, a still point in the vast river of language, forever flowing. In the Middle Ages, 0 arrived in Europe like a mysterious visitor, greeted with a slow and hesitant curiosity, a shadow at the edge of understanding. Some scholars found it deeply puzzling. How could nothing be something, a quiet paradox resting in the mind like an unsolved riddle? It took centuries for this idea to drift through the halls of universities, settling into a gentle acceptance like dawn spreading over a sleeping landscape. The journey was soft and gradual, a slow unfolding of understanding, a tide that could not be rushed. Finally, 0 found its place, a silent anchor in the world of thought, holding everything together in a delicate balance. As we drift through the story of 0, we see how a simple idea can echo across time. From a clay wedge to a shell, to a rule in a book, it has traveled through the ages. It is a soft reminder that even nothingness can hold infinite meaning. In the quiet of our minds, 0 remains a point of stillness, a gentle breath in the mathematics of life.
Imagine, if you will, the gentle shift in how humanity counts. The transition from Roman numerals to the Hindu-Arabic system was a peaceful revolution, drifting silently through time like a gentle, unstoppable tide. Roman numerals, with their heavy letters and no zero, made even simple counting a laborious and clumsy task, burdening merchants and scholars alike. The arrival of zero, a perfect empty circle, was a quiet revelation, introducing a floating system where a numbers place gave it meaning, like stars aligning in a flexible cosmos. This simple addition transformed mathematics into a flowing language, where calculations could be as soft and swift as a morning dream. It was a serene and profound change, a whispered evolution that still echoes in the gentle hum of every modern calculation. And as we think about the delicate nature of zero, we find it again in the dreamy world of calculus. There, infinitesimals are numbers that hover infinitely close to zero without ever touching it. These tiny, elusive whispers allow mathematicians to imagine a realm of soft, continuous curves where motion flows like a quiet, endless river. With infinitesimals, the sharp edges of change dissolve into a tender, unbroken melody, revealing the gentle arc of a falling leaf or the silent dance of planets. They let us see the world not as a series of frozen points, but as a seamless and breathing whole, where each moment blends into the next. In this serene mathematical landscape, rigidity fades away, and all becomes a smooth, drifting dream. This delicate balance between something and nothing echoes in the digital realm. Binary code is the quiet, steady heartbeat of every modern computer, a simple rhythm of ones and zeros. This gentle duality builds vast, invisible landscapes where billions of zeros drift in silent, orderly patterns, like snowflakes settling in a digital night. From this stark contrast, the images we glimpse and the sounds we hear are born, woven from the loom of a serene, logical dream. Each zero is a tiny vessel of potential, carrying form and meaning through the calm currents of electricity, a lullaby of pure contrast. In this silent universe, the pulse of existence is just the soft flicker between being and nothingness, cradling our connected world in a tender, binary embrace. And that anchor of nothingness, zero, appears again in the quiet realm of coordinate geometry. Here, the origin is the peaceful point designated as 0, 0, a still center from which all else emerges. It serves as the silent anchor, the resting heart of the plane, where every direction begins its slow, gentle expansion. Like the center of a still pond, the origin holds the space together, allowing every other point to float away in soft, rippling coordinates. From this restful core, the entire two-dimensional landscape unfolds, a map of quiet possibility and calm, mathematical grace. This zero point is the meditative beginning of all paths, a serene intersection where nothing becomes the source of everything. And if we take this stillness to the farthest reaches of existence, we encounter the profound quiet of absolute zero. On a cosmic scale, absolute zero is the quietest possible state of matter, a temperature of shimmering stillness. At nearly -273 degrees Celsius, all molecular motion slows to a gentle, frozen halt, as if the universe itself is drawing a slow, deep breath. This is matter's deepest slumber, where the energetic dance of particles fades into a soft, luminous silence, a frozen lullaby. Absolute zero is a whispered boundary, a horizon of cold that we can approach but never quite touch, a serene edge of existence. In this vast, chilly dream, time seems to hold its breath, embracing a perfect peace that speaks of the universe's ultimate rest. Let your thoughts settle softly on the number zero. We often picture it as a simple circle, a quiet end to a countdown, but its story began in a much humbler way, as a placeholder in ancient Sumeria. Imagine a clay tablet, still damp under a scribe's stylus, and there, between two meaningful marks, he pressed a tiny slanted wedge. This small symbol did not represent a thing, it was simply a soft gap, a breath held open to show that a value was missing. It kept the space clear,
allowing the mind to drift across an empty void between digits, a gentle pause in the flow of numbers that asked for nothing more than recognition. Far across the world, in the floating forests of Mesoamerica, the Maya people discovered this same concept on their own. They shaped zero not as a wedge, but as a beautiful curling shell, a delicate spiral that held the idea of nothingness like a quiet secret from the sea. With this graceful symbol, they wove emptiness directly into their complex calendars, using it to track time through vast and peaceful cycles that stretched across thousands of years. Imagine their pyramids rising from the jungle mist, and within their calculations, that little shell resting calmly, a reminder that even the greatest spans of history are held together by silent spaces. Now let your thoughts drift to ancient India, where a mathematician named Brahmagupta gave zero a new kind of life around the year 628. In his book, the Brahmasfuta Siddhanta, he wrote the first formal rules for this quiet number, treating it not as a mere gap, but as a living presence that could be added or subtracted, that could float gracefully within the laws of arithmetic. His words allowed zero to step out of the shadows and take its place at the table of mathematics, a number as real as any other, breathing softly between the lines of equations. It was a gentle revolution, like a lotus unfolding on a still pond, revealing depths that had always been there. The very word we use, zero, carries that same gentle history in its sound. It drifts softly from the Arabic word sif, which describes a quiet, empty void, a space where nothing stirs. Over time, this word flowed across cultures and found its way into Latin as zephyrum, a whisper of a name that gently shaped the way we speak of nothingness today. Say it slowly to yourself, zero, and feel how the sound itself is a soft exhale, a circle of stillness that returns to the lips with a hush. It is a word that embodies the calm it represents, a linguistic echo of the vast, peaceful emptiness it names. For centuries, the Roman Empire stood against this idea, preferring the solid weight of their carved stone letters, the heavy I, V, X, and C that they could see and touch. Without a symbol for nothing, their calculations remained rigid and heavy, like trying to chart the stars with blocks of marble. Meanwhile, across the east, the fluid ease of zero-based systems moved like water, carrying traders and scholars through intricate sums with a lightness that the Romans could not grasp. Picture their numerals as stones in a riverbed, and zero as the current that could lift them all, a silent strength that would one day reshape the world's way of thinking, as gently as sleep. Imagine the slow, warm introduction of zero to Europe, a quiet migration of ideas carried by scholars and traders across sunlit seas. Think of dusty scrolls unrolling in candlelit rooms, the scratch of quills as ledgers embraced this new emptiness. In the 13th century, a man named Fibonacci brought the Hindu-Arabic numerals from North Africa, offering the West a more melodic and efficient way to balance their accounts. He gifted a symbol that was both nothing and everything, a gentle circle of possibility. This transition wasn't sudden but gradual, like twilight fading into night, as merchants and mathematicians welcomed the elegance of zero. It settled into the fabric of daily life, a soft whisper that forever changed how we count and calculate. From this gentle arrival, zero opened new doors in mathematics, especially in the dreamy realm of calculus. Venture into the dreamy realm of calculus, where zero allows us to imagine the infinitesimal. This is a point so small it almost dissolves into the fabric of a dream, like a mote of dust suspended in a silent ray of sunlight. It holds immense power, yet slips away if you look too closely. With this gentle concept, scientists can measure the smooth curve of a planet's orbit across the cosmos, or the slow, graceful drift of a falling leaf in autumn. Each calculation is a soft breath, a quiet moment of insight that captures motions otherwise too subtle to grasp. Through zero, we gently touch the edges of the infinitely small, finding perfect precision in the calm, open spaces that rest between all numbers. And from these quiet calculations, zero flows into the heart of our modern machines, pulsing as binary code. Listen closely to the silent heartbeat of every computer, where binary code creates a peaceful, never-ending dance between 1 and 0. These two simple states, pure presence and gentle absence, weave a rhythm so soothing it cradles all our digital dreams. Imagine the silent flicker of lights inside a machine, each one a decision of yes or no, on or off. This is the language of binary, a serene dialogue that builds connections across the globe. The 1 is a soft affirmation, like a whispering wave on a calm shore. The 0 is a quiet pause, a breath held between heartbeats. Together, they build the intricate worlds that glow within our screens. From the words you read to the music you hear, everything rests on this tranquil binary foundation. It is a lullaby of logic, a slow, continuous pulse that allows modern life to hum along without ever waking us from our deep, comfortable rest. Beyond mathematics and machines, 0 holds a deeper meaning in the quiet halls of philosophy. In the quiet halls of philosophy, 0 transforms into sunyata, a concept of emptiness that resonates with profound peace and boundless openness. This is not a cold, hollow void, but a warm, fertile expanse where all possibilities slowly begin to bloom, petal by soft petal. Think of a calm meadow at dawn, where the silence is full, not empty, waiting for the first gentle kiss of light. This is a space of pure welcome, where thoughts can rest and dreams can start. This cultural bridge stretches from ancient meditation to modern mathematics, linking the heart's deepest stillness with the mind's keenest reason. It is a timeless idea, softly breathing through centuries of human thought. It whispers that nothingness is a gentle cradle, not a loss, but a place of infinite, peaceful becoming. And finally, we see 0 on the number line, where it holds all this meaning in perfect balance. Gaze softly at a number line, and you will find 0 resting at its quiet center, a still point of perfect, unwavering balance. It is the silent hub around which all other numbers gently dance, positive numbers rising to the right like soft hills, negative numbers falling to the left like quiet veils. Like a delicate mirror, it reflects these two realms in eternal, peaceful equilibrium, keeping everything in harmonious scale. Imagine a calm, glassy lake where the sky and water meet, creating a seamless horizon of nothingness and everything, where up and down lose their meaning. This 0 center is the heart of mathematics, a tranquil, sacred place where all journeys softly start and all calculations find their deepest, most peaceful rest, perfectly undisturbed and endlessly serene. Welcome, resting soul, to the quiet story of 0. This calm circle holds the weight of infinite worlds. Let its presence wash over you as we drift through time. The transition of 0 from a simple placeholder to a formal number happened gently over centuries of thought. You can almost feel the ancient scribes tracing circles in the sand, considering the profound emptiness it held. In India, around the 5th century, the mathematician Brahmagupta granted 0 a full citizenship in the world of numbers. He saw it as the serene link between debt and wealth, cold and warmth, the negative and the positive. This simple circle became a doorway, a quiet portal through which all mathematics could pass from one realm to another. It was a numerical breath, a pause in the endless count of 1, 2, 3. This gentle idea traveled silently, crossing rivers and mountains to other lands. Far across the ocean, in the warm forests of Mesoamerica, the Mayan astronomers wove 0 into their cosmic tapestries. Imagine a Mayan priest gazing at the night sky, painting a little shell on paper to mark a moment of perfect emptiness. They carved a shell-like symbol, an elegant glyph that whispered of the sea and the sky. With this tiny mark, they could track the dances of planets and stars over vast, silent centuries. Their calendar systems moved with a quiet, rhythmic precision. Like the heartbeat of the universe, 0 was their tool for eternity, a smooth stone in the river of time. Meanwhile, 0 was born from the spirit. The concept of sunyata drifted into the mathematical realm from Buddhist philosophy. Think of it as the soft darkness behind your closed eyes, a space of pure possibility. Sunyata means emptiness, but it is an emptiness that holds everything. Scholars saw this void not as a lack, but as a floating field of endless potential. From this serene nothingness, all numbers could bloom like quiet flowers. It was the deep silence before the first note of a song, the stillness from which all motion springs. Later, in the golden age of Baghdad, a scholar shaped zero into something new. In the 9th century, a scholar named al-Khwarizmi welcomed zero into his studies. Al-Khwarizmi sat with his manuscripts, gently coaxing zero to reveal its secrets. He blended the deep insights from India with the sharp logic of Persian thought. Through his careful work, zero began to drift westward, carried by caravans of ink and camel dust. From his name we received the word algorithm, a thread of order woven through the loom of numbers. This quiet invention now rests beneath the digital world, a silent foundation for all the gentle glow of screens. Yet, not everyone welcomed the void. In the marble halls of Greece, zero was a stranger. For centuries, many Greek philosophers resisted the idea of zero. The Greeks cherished a world of tangible beauty, where everything had a place and a purpose. The idea of a true void seemed like a silent threat to their ordered thoughts. They feared that a void was a logical impossibility, a crack in their perfect world of solid forms. They were unaware that the quiet embrace of zero would eventually unlock the deepest secrets of the universe. This gentle emptiness held the key to the stars, but they turned away from its silent invitation. Only later did minds open to the truth that nothing could be everything. A quiet paradox that now cradles our dreams of the infinite. Rest now, feel zero around you, a soft circle of calm. This quiet nothingness contains everything.
In the 13th century, a gentle traveler named Fibonacci journeyed from the sun-drenched lands of North Africa to the stone streets of Italy. He carried a quiet secret across the Mediterranean, the Hindu-Arabic numeral system, and through his book called Liber Abaci, he shared its beauty. He showed the merchants how zero could simplify their complex calculations, like a soft key unlocking a smoother flow of trade. This humble circle made numbers dance with ease, allowing goods and ideas to drift from shore to shore without confusion. It was a silent revolution, bringing clarity to the bustling marketplaces and calming the once frantic ledgers, as if the sea of commerce had found its peaceful tide.
In the realm of calculus, zero acts as a soft whisper, a gentle breath that leads mathematicians to the edge of understanding. By watching values drift closer and closer to zero, we glimpse the infinitesimals, those tiny vanishing moments. These infinitesimals are like dust motes dancing in a beam of moonlight, so small they almost aren't there. This allows us to trace the graceful curves of a planet's orbit as it glides through the silent cosmos. It helps us feel the slow ripples spreading across a pond, each wave a quiet echo of motion. Zero becomes a doorway to the infinite, a subtle guide into the heart of change, a gentle reminder that even in the smallest place, the universe whispers its secrets. The binary system powers every screen you gaze upon tonight, and it rests on the simple duality of 0 and 1. This rhythmic pulse, this dance of presence and absence, creates a digital tapestry so vast it feels like breath. Every image, every word, every melody dissolves into this binary language, a sacred chant of on and off. Each 0, a silent pause. Each 1, a soft chime, weaving streams of information into an invisible fabric. Through this code, memories and dreams are whispered across the globe, forming a quiet stream that never wakes from its gentle flow. It is the heartbeat of the modern world, hidden in a veil of nothing and something, a lullaby for the digital age. In the world of coordinates, the origin point, written as 000, serves as a peaceful center. It is the still heart of the map, a silent anchor from which all other directions unfold. This 0 point is not a lack, but a presence, a home for geometry's soul. From this quiet spot, the universe of space stretches out like petals from a sleeping flower. Every location gains its meaning through this gentle reference, a fixed point in a realm of change. Imagine a compass rose lying still, its needle resting on this point of perfect calm, guiding every journey home, back to where all paths begin.
Modern physics explores the quantum vacuum, a state that resembles a mathematical zero, but it is far from empty. Instead, it shimmers with soft, latent energy, a quiet hum that fills the vast silence. This vacuum is a sea of fleeting events, a dreamy landscape where being and non-being dance. Even in total stillness, there is a whispering vitality, a gentle thrum that sustains the universe. Particles flicker in and out of existence, like fireflies on a summer night, born from this seeming nothingness. It suggests that zero is not an absence, but a field of quiet possibilities, holding all of creation in its fragile hand, cradling the cosmos with a tender hidden grace. Breathing in and out, zero taught the world to be at peace with nothing. Let it hold you through the night, soft and endless.
Long ago, in the quiet corners of ancient India, a profound shift occurred in human thought. The concept of zero drifted from a simple placeholder into a fully realized number. Around the year 628, the mathematician Brahmagupta carefully defined its nature. He was among the first to teach the rules for adding and subtracting zero, treating nothing as a tangible entity. It was like giving form to a silent thought, allowing the void to balance gently in a mathematical equation. His work illuminated a path where nothingness could sit calmly amidst numbers, as natural as the sky holds the stars. Brahmagupta's insights brought zero into the light, making it a quiet companion in the dance of digits.
Far away, in the lush lands of the Mayan civilization, a different kind of zero was born, untouched by the old world. Their astronomers carved a soft, shell-like glyph to symbolize the void. With this simple emblem, they tracked the movements of stars and planets with serene accuracy. Their calendars became vast tapestries weaving through millennia into the drifting distance of time. This zero was not a number but a still point, a quiet center around which all motion could be measured. It was like a seashell resting on the shore of eternity, marking the space between waves of existence.
Even earlier, in the warm, dusty air of ancient Babylon, scribes worked with meticulous care. They pressed a double-wedge symbol into clay tablets as a placeholder, a small mark to hold the space between values. This humble impression was not yet a number, but a gentle pause like a breath taken between words. It separated 10 from 100 with serene precision, ensuring that the meaning of each digit remained steady. Their invention was a whisper of order, a soft anchor in the sea of numerals. It was an early dance with the void, a subtle acknowledgement of the spaces that shape our understanding. This placeholder was like a seed waiting for the full concept of zero to bloom in distant lands. From the heart of India, zero embarked on a long journey along the Silk Road. It drifted into the Islamic Golden Age, finding a new home with scholars like Al-Khwarizmi. In the 9th century, he refined its use, weaving it into the fabric of algebra. His work allowed the concept to float westward, carried by the currents of trade and knowledge. This elegant system gradually replaced the cumbersome Roman numerals, offering a more fluid and graceful way to count. It was like a soft breeze shifting the sands of time, reshaping how we understood the world. Zero was no longer a regional secret but a wandering star, illuminating minds across continents. When zero finally drifted into medieval Europe, it arrived like a delicate stranger. The idea of nothingness stirred a gentle unease among thinkers who saw it as a philosophical puzzle. Some hesitated, for what could absence mean in a world so full of presence? Over centuries, the soft logic of the Hindu-Arabic system was gradually embraced. Its clarity and elegance eventually won over even the most skeptical minds. This slow acceptance opened the way to profound discoveries, laying the groundwork for calculus and modern physics. Zero became the quiet key that unlocked the vast chambers of the universe, allowing us to imagine the infinite, to measure the motion of stars, and to hold the void in our hands. And so it remains, a silent companion in the flow of numbers, a gentle reminder that nothingness holds the world together. In the realm of mathematics, zero serves as a quiet horizon, a delicate line where positive and negative numbers gently meet. It provides a point of perfect equilibrium, a still center that anchors the drifting symmetry of the number line. Imagine this horizon as a calm lake surface, reflecting the balance of all things. Without this central anchor, the number line would drift into chaos, its symmetry broken and incomplete. Our understanding of balance, of wholeness, depends on this silent, unseen fulcrum. It holds the space like a soft pause in a melody, allowing the music of numbers to breathe. This zero is a resting place, a quiet shore where the mind can find stillness amidst the flow of value. The invention of zero allowed for the creation of positional notation, an elegant system where a digit's value changes based on its place. Zero is the gentle key in this system, a quiet placeholder that can transform a simple digit into a vast magnitude. Picture a single one, standing alone, and then a soft zero following it, shifting the scale to 10, 100, 1,000. With each added zero, the number expands like ripples on a still pond, a soft stroke awakening greater potential. This silent symbol holds the power to multiply without a sound, a humble seed of infinity. It is a silent guardian, holding the space so that numbers can unfold their grandest forms, from the smallest fraction to the largest expanse.
In binary code, the foundation of every digital dream, zero represents a state of off, a quiet void of electricity. Alongside the number one, it creates a rhythmic, pulsing language of light and shadow. This dance of on and off allows computers to process information in a peaceful, steady flow. It is a silent conversation, a breathing pattern of zeros and ones that hums beneath our modern world. The simplicity of this void gives rise to complex digital landscapes, all from this gentle binary pulse. This pulse is like a quiet heartbeat, sustaining the digital dreams we hold, from glowing screens to the vastness of the internet, all resting on this soft, ceaseless rhythm.
From a philosophical perspective, zero reflects the ancient Eastern concept of sunyata, or emptiness. This is not a lack, but a warm, open space of infinite potential. It is a peaceful wholeness, a quiet fullness where all things are possible. This cultural lens transformed a mathematical void into a symbol of deep tranquility, a space where the mind can rest. In this emptiness, there is room for creation, for dreams to softly take shape. It is a serene void, embracing rather than excluding. This quiet emptiness holds the seed of all things, like a gentle womb of creation, where nothingness becomes the source of everything. It is a soft emptiness that does not fear the void, but finds peace in its boundless potential. In the vastness of the cosmos, zero helps astronomers measure the quiet, expanding distance between galaxies. By defining a humble starting point of zero, we can softly map the drifting currents of the universe. We trace the slow journey of light across the velvet dark, from zero into the endless distance. This starting point allows us to fathom the grandest scales. Like a gentle hand reaching into the night, zero becomes the origin of our cosmic story, a still point in the motion of creation. It is the quiet beginning, a seed of measurement from which we comprehend the infinite, a silent whisper in the immense night sky. From this zero we draw the maps of the stars, tracing the gentle arcs of galaxies. Welcome, weary traveler, to a quiet space where stories drift like leaves on a slow river. Tonight we wander through the history of zero, that silent symbol of nothingness, across ancient lands and thoughtful minds. Let your thoughts soften as we explore how emptiness shaped our world in a dreamy journey through time. In the warm lands of the ancient Mayans, beneath a canopy of endless stars, a quiet discovery took shape. They imagined a void, a peaceful emptiness, and gave it a form, a soft, shell-like curve, delicate and round. This simple symbol, representing nothing, became a key to unlock the mysteries of time. With it, they crafted calendars that stretched across millennia, tracking the sun and moon with a gentle, unwavering precision. It was as if they learned to float on the stream of existence, observing celestial cycles without disturbance, simply being present in the vastness. Through this empty shape, they connected with the eternal, drifting through thousands of years of celestial cycles, their spirits serene and unburdened. In stillness, they found that nothingness could be a source of deep wisdom. In ancient India, the concept of sunyata bloomed, a word for emptiness that shimmered with spiritual grace. It was a bridge between the stillness of meditation and the precision of mathematical thought. Scholars like Brahmagupta embraced this softness, seeing zero as a true number, not just a silent gap. They found that adding zero left a number unchanged, like a calm lake reflecting the sky. Subtracting it brought a quiet hush, as if the universe itself took a gentle breath. Through sunyata, the void became a fertile ground for creation, allowing mathematicians to see the infinite in a single point. This softened the edges of logic, bringing peace to the mind. In Babylon, on tablets of sun-baked clay, a floating wedge appeared, a gentle mark to hold an empty space. It was not a number, not a zero, but a quiet placeholder, a pause in the rhythm of numerals. This small symbol let the Babylonians track the stars and balance their accounts with a structured calm. Through centuries, this unassuming wedge prepared the ground for a fuller understanding of the void, a stepping stone to the zero we know today. Like a soft breath between words, it gave meaning to the spaces, ensuring that no value was lost. It was a quiet foundation, a silent promise of order. In the serene courts of 7th century India, Brahmagupta composed a text of luminous clarity. He named it the Brahmasfuta Siddhanta, and within its verses, he laid down the first gentle rules for zero. He described how adding zero to a number leaves it unchanged, just as a placid lake mirrors the sky above. This was a revelation, a formal embrace of the void where mathematics discovered a new kind of peace. His words floated through time, a soft doctrine that allowed numbers to rest in still perfection. His teachings were a gentle breeze, calming the turbulent seas of calculation. From India's quiet gardens, the concept of zero traveled to the Islamic world, finding a new home in the House of Wisdom in Baghdad. There, Al-Khwarizmi, a scholar of great insight, refined the system, making numbers flow like water over smooth stones. His work simplified the calculation of the stars' movements, turning complex astronomy into a gentle, fluid art. The zero became a tool of elegance, allowing scholars to map the heavens with a calm and steady hand. Through Baghdad's halls of learning, the void crossed cultures, carrying its peaceful potential to distant shores. The zero carried a serene light, illuminating paths to new discoveries. And so, as our journey settles into the stillness, let the zero remind you of the peace found in empty spaces. Rest now in the calm between words, and let these dreams carry you to a gentle sleep. Long ago, there was a wandering merchant and mathematician named Fibonacci. He traversed lands of spice and silk, collecting wisdom from faraway shores. In the year 1202, he wrote a book called the Liber Abaci, and within its calm pages, he introduced Europe to the Hindu-Arabic numeral system. At its core lay a small, round symbol called zero, a quiet gift of nothingness. This zero brought a gentle efficiency, a soft pause in the bustle of numbers, helping merchants let go of the heavy Roman numerals that had burdened them for ages. It was like a feather falling, allowing calculations to drift with ease. Numbers now breathed with a new lightness, a subtle dance of clarity that transformed the hum of trade. For centuries, in the serene halls of ancient Greece, some philosophers turned away from the idea of zero. They perceived it as a void, a chaotic and unstable emptiness that threatened the order of the world. It was like gazing into a bottomless well where all certainty could vanish. Their minds gravitated toward the solid embrace of geometry, where lines and shapes offered firm truth. So they let the abstraction of zero drift away, like a dream fading at dawn, preferring the tangible warmth of forms they could touch and see. The whisper of nothingness lingered only at the edge of their thoughts, a shadow they chose not to follow. And yet from that humble zero, a radiant vision arose. It gave birth to the Cartesian coordinate system with a serene point named the origin, marked as 0, 0. This became the still center of a vast grid, a quiet source from which all distances gently flow. Mathematicians could now trace the universe onto paper, finding a calm midpoint like a candle glowing in the dark, its light radiating in every direction. The origin was a soft heartbeat, a point of peace from which the geometry of the cosmos could unfold. It was the seed of measurement, a still pond reflecting the stars. In the dreamy world of calculus, the notion of limits lets us draw near to zero without ever truly meeting it. This evokes a sense of infinite closeness, like a feather drifting slowly toward the ground but staying forever adrift. It is an eternal almost, a mathematical whisper that unveils the gentle curve of a hill or the serene arc of a planet wandering through space. Zero is not a place to arrive, but a distant horizon we perpetually sail toward, a quiet star guiding our grasp of motion and change. In this soft, unending lullaby, we find the rhythm of the universe. In our modern age, binary code holds zero as a soft, silent switch. It denotes the off state in a calm sequence of ones and zeros, a gentle pulse of presence and pause. This simple rhythm forms the bedrock of every digital dream, from the subdued glow of your screen to the faint hum of unseen servers. Zero is the rest note in a vast symphony of information, the quiet counterpart that permits all things to be. Every image, every whispered word sent through the network, rests on this tender tide of on and off. It is a calm, unbroken heartbeat shaping our connected existence. Feel the soft curve of a shell, held in the mind of a Maya astronomer. This gentle shape was zero, a quiet placekeeper that let them drift through millennia of star-sorted days. You can almost sense the deep, calm cycles stretching back and forth, as still as a breath held in the dark. Their vast calendars turned with mathematical precision, a soft, sleeping rhythm. In the warm dust of ancient India, Brahmagupta wrote of zero as a number you could hold, like a smooth stone. He showed how adding nothing leaves you with peace, and subtracting nothing keeps you whole, a soft logic that birthed algebra from the stillness. His words settled into the world like a quiet, endless sigh, a deep foundation for all the numbers that follow. Long before, in Babylon, they pressed a floating gap into clay, a silent breath between numbers. This stillness was not counted, yet it held the stars in their courses and the seasons in their soft turning. You can almost feel the cool, smooth tablet under your thumb, the empty space of vast sleeping promise that organized the heavens with a quiet order. The word zero drifted from the Arabic sif, a name for emptiness itself, a soft exhale of sound. It floated across the Mediterranean, a traveling echo that became zero in the Italian tongue, and then settled into your own mind. Whisper it now, and feel the vast, still space it holds, a warm darkness in your mouth that fills the room with nothing. The ancient Greeks hesitated before zero, feeling that a nothing could have no shape in their physical world. They preferred a universe of solid geometry, where spheres drifted in perfect proportions, a warm, harmonious calm. But even then, the void lingered at the edges of their thoughts, a soft, unspoken shadow that would one day fill the silence between stars. Feel the soft power of zero in the decimal system. It brought a fluid ease to calculations, a warm unfolding that was once impossible. This quiet revolution transformed how we view the infinite. Numbers could now stretch out toward a gentle horizon, deep and vast. Imagine the silent alignment of digits, each one finding its place in an endless open field. Zero was the secret whisper that unlocked the infinite, a soft key to a world without boundaries. This fluid ease was a warm river of thought, carrying scholars to distant shores of calculation. The infinite was no longer a distant dream, but a soft, tangible horizon. Zero whispered the secret of boundlessness, and numbers danced into the deep. In the quiet of the 17th century, minds touched the infinitesimal. Newton and Leibniz crafted values that drift closer and closer to zero, but never fully rest upon it. This is a soft mathematical dance, describing the gentle curve of every orbit in the cosmos. Feel the nearness of nothing, the almost touch of zero in every celestial path. It is a whisper of motion, a deep, infinite arc that curves through the silent sky. The infinitesimal breathes a warm sigh in the vastness of space. The infinitesimal is a soft breath that never ends, a value that kisses zero without a touch. It guides the planets in their gentle orbits, a quiet choreography in the dark. This mathematical whisper is the song of the cosmos.
Binary code is the silent language of every computer and smartphone. It breathes entirely on the relationship between 1 and 0. This simple duality creates a rhythmic pulse of information, a soft, steady whisper. In a tiny, quiet space, it holds vast worlds of knowledge, deep and infinite. Feel the warm hum of data, the gentle on and off that weaves the fabric of our digital dreams. It is a binary lullaby, singing in the stillness of a chip. Each 1 and 0 is a tiny pulse, a soft heartbeat in the silicon. This duality weaves a tapestry of information, a vast and quiet landscape. In the stillness of a device, a universe of knowledge breathes gently. Picture the number line in your mind's eye. 0 rests as a peaceful center point, a quiet origin of perfect calm. From this soft place, numbers drift infinitely in two opposite directions. They create a mirrored symmetry of positive and negative values, a warm and open horizon. It is like a deep breath, in and out, expanding from a point of ultimate stillness. Feel the gentle balance of this mathematical universe where 0 holds the center, silent and warm. The positive numbers flow outward, warm and bright, while the negatives mirror them in quiet shadow. Both extend from the same still center, a soft balance of opposites. This symmetry is a deep breath of mathematical peace. In a sensory sense, 0 is the ultimate stillness. It is like the quiet moment between two breaths, a warm pause that holds every possibility. This is the mathematical equivalent of a blank canvas, an open space where all numbers can begin their soft journey. Feel the deep silence of origin, the gentle emptiness that cradles creation. From this still point, all mathematics rises like a soft whisper from the void. 0 is the warm, quiet heart of the numerical world. This canvas is not empty but full of potential, a warm silence that awaits the first stroke of number. From this pause, the entire numerical universe unfolds, soft and infinite. 0 is the quiet beginning of all things. And so, from the decimal system to the binary pulse, from infinitesimals to the number line, 0 remains the deep, warm silence at the heart of mathematics. It is the soft breath that cradles all numbers, a quiet origin that holds the infinite in its still embrace. Imagine the soft click of a mind opening to nothingness. The concept of 0 was a quiet revolution, transforming mathematics from a tool for counting physical objects into a language of abstract thought. By treating nothing as a tangible number, scholars created a floating bridge between positive and negative, a warm, still point where opposites meet in a deep, silent harmony. It was a vast emptiness that somehow held everything together, a soft breath of nothingness resting at the heart of all equations. Feel the warmth of that silent revolution spreading through the ages. The ancient word shunya began as a breath of the void, a soft whisper from spiritual meditation that drifted into mathematical precision. This term evolved into the Arabic sif, the peaceful ancestor of our modern word cipher, carrying the essence of nothingness like a warm, empty space. It was a deep stillness that slowly became a number you could hold in your mind, a quiet cipher for the infinite, a secret kept in the silence between the stars. Shunya was the sound of a meditation bell fading into the quiet. Brahmagupta, a 7th century astronomer, defined 0 with gentle rules of arithmetic, a soft lullaby for the restless numbers. He described subtracting a number from itself to reach a state of perfect balance, giving 0 its own quiet identity. This made 0 a soft, still number, a deep breath in the equations, resting peacefully between the noise of positive and negative, a calm presence that settled the mind into a tranquil sleep.
His equations were a gentle rain falling on a still lake. Deep in the Mesoamerican forests, the Maya discovered zero independently, carving a soft, shell-like glyph to hold an empty space in their calendars. This warm, curved symbol allowed them to track vast stretches of time with precision, a slow, rhythmic dance across centuries. It felt like the soft echo of a conch shell, whispering the secrets of deep time, holding the silence of the cosmos in its gentle, sweeping arc. Each glyph was a silent prayer to the vastness of time. Long before zero became a digit, the Babylonians used a simple double wedge symbol as a quiet placeholder, a soft whisper marking a gap between numbers. While not yet a value of its own, it served as a faint sign that a place was intentionally left empty, a still breath in the clay. This tiny mark was the first sigh of zero, a prelude to the profound silence that would change mathematics forever, a soft imprint of nothingness waiting to be born. It was the stillness before creation, a breath held in the dark.
Shh, let the world outside grow faint. Tonight, we drift into the soft heart of zero. The quiet arrival of zero in Europe came through the gentle influence of Al-Khwarizmi, a Persian mathematician. His work on algebra, like a subtle breeze, nudged the rigid stones of Roman numerals aside. It was a slow drift toward a more fluid way of calculating, a softening of numbers. His writings, warm and wise, traveled across lands and time until the stiff, formal strokes of Roman numerals began to melt into the graceful dance of decimal systems. This new number, a circle of emptiness, found a home in the heart of Western thought, forever changing how we count the quiet moments of our lives. It was a silent revolution, a whisper of change that echoed through the halls of learning and commerce. Zero breathes life into the coordinate plane, a vast, silent grid. Every point is measured from its distance to a central, peaceful origin, a point of absolute rest. This geometric stillness is the quiet backbone of our cities, where architects trace the graceful curves of bridges and towers as soft as a whisper on paper. It is a deep and ordered calm, where every line finds its purpose, from the gentle arc of a roof to the soaring spine of a skyscraper. Zero holds the blueprint in a silent embrace, a grid of night for the dreaming world. In this space, imagination finds its shape, floating on the quiet sea of coordinates. In calculus, the limit is a tender approach to zero, drawing ever closer without a final touch. It is an infinite proximity, like a feather descending toward a mirror, so slow, so soft. Each moment feels like an eternity of closeness, a breath held in the space between. The mind drifts along this path, forever nearing but never arriving, a quiet meditation on the edge of nothingness. It is the most gentle of pursuits, a caress from the abstract. Mathematicians wander this endless corridor where the distance to zero shrinks but never fully dissolves, a twilight of numbers. Binary code is the quiet heartbeat of every computer, a rhythm woven from the gentle oscillation between 1 and 0. This simple pulse, a soft presence and absence, hums through silicon chips. And deep within this dance, a vast ocean of information flows, silent and still. It is the language of the digital dusk, a code written in the breath of existence and void. Every image, every sound, every word you hear now is born from that tender, alternating lull. The glowing screen in your hand, the soft music in the air, all rest on this binary bed, a stream of light and shadow. It is a nocturnal river, carrying our thoughts with a gentle current. In the profound silence of a vacuum, scientists gaze toward zero as a baseline, reaching for absolute zero. It is the point where all molecular motion fades into a deep, frozen peace. Energy itself becomes a quiet hum, the most still lullaby of the universe. This is the ultimate stillness, a place where warmth is a memory and the cosmic breath is held.
It is a cold, gentle embrace at the very foundation of reality. In this frozen tranquility, the secrets of matter lie dormant, waiting to be whispered. It is the final rest, a deep sleep where all motion ceases, and only the idea of zero remains, pure and undisturbed. And so in the quiet, zero cradles everything. Rest now in the stillness of nothing. In ancient Babylonian clay, a hollow gap marked the place of nothing, a silent column that whispered the promise of algebra yet unborn, a seed of void planted in the deep soil of time. In the quiet ink of Brahmagupta's 7th century work, zero found its voice, a number that, when added or subtracted, left all things unchanged, a peaceful mirror of the void. Deep in the jungles of the Americas, the Maya carved a soft, shell-like glyph to mark the zero, weaving its silence into the long count where time flowed in slow, rhythmic circles. The word zero drifts from the Sanskrit sunya, a tender name for the void, an open space where mathematics meets meditation, a breath of infinite possibility held in silence. Across the sea of time, Fibonacci's Liber Abazi became a vessel carrying zero to European shores, dissolving the old Roman stones into a fluid decimal, a gentle river where numbers floated free. The introduction of zero was a soft key turning in the lock of the universe, letting Newton and Leibniz imagine quantities drifting forever toward stillness, and in that drift, they found the music of the spheres. In the deep pulse of the digital night, zero rests as one half of a silent heartbeat, a gentle off that, paired with on, weaves the fabric of all our dreaming machines. For centuries, Greek minds turned from the void, fearing that zero was a ghost too strange for reason, and they clung instead to the warmth of stone geometry, leaving the infinite dark unopened. The zero, a humble placeholder, gracefully shifts its quiet weight, turning 10 into 100 with a silent step, and through that order we behold the endless architecture of the cosmos. And in the deepest cold that science knows, zero becomes a throne of stillness, where at negative 273.15 degrees every molecule surrenders its motion, and matter dreams a crystal dream at the edge of nothing. And with that, your quiet journey through the history of nothingness draws to a close. You have floated through ancient fears and cosmic order, through the pulse of computers and the deep freeze of the void. If this helped you drift away, please leave a like and subscribe so that whenever you seek rest, I can be here waiting with a whisper. As you slip into sleep, remember that the same zero that shaped the heavens now cradles your thoughts in gentle emptiness. Good night, sleep well, and know that all is calm. Rest now. Everything is exactly as it should be.